My name is Wajiro Moreithi of WINENJIRU Exclusives, and welcome to Conversations with WINENJIRU. Today, we're at the prestigious, iconic Muthaiga Country Club with my good friend Vincent Mutuku, who is the head sommelier, among other things. I'm sure you'll tell me your titles, but thank you so much for having us here and for availing your time.
Thank you so much for actually giving me the opportunity as much. My name is Vincent Mutuku Kitonyi. I'm the club's resident sommelier. I'm also a barman by profession. I'm also one of the head supervisors at all the restaurants, as well as a training manager for the club.
Hey, those are many. Uko na donge nono kama one of the presidential candidates.
Well, yeah, right?
Okay. So, and then the way you're looking nice and green, like you're just coming out of an Augusta
Would
golf
you believe
tournament.
me if I told you that I woke up like this?
Hey.
Stop it.
Do you play golf, by the way? I know this is not a golf club, but do you play golf?
I tried. I tried, but I just didn't quite get the whole idea.
Really?
Yeah, but I do play tennis quite well.
Well, okay, tennis here. Tennis is available within the country club.
Absolutely, it is.
Okay, so you have a good backhand.
I'm trying.
Yeah,
but I'm really good
you're
because
really-
we've had like interdepartmental, and I always just prevail.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm learning new things every
It
day.
is.
Super. So I think when we first met, it was during you coming into a WSET class.
It was.
I'm not even sure what your position was at that time. Had you just joined Muthaiga?
I actually had, because I was actually trying to transition from whatever position I had at that time, and I was trying to like just find my niche in the whole like operation, because there's like a lot of things. There's like a barrister, there's like a waitress, there's like a carver, there are a lot of like positions that you can actually better.
Yes.
And I figured, this club has such a brilliant wine list, but where's the sommelier?
Okay.
Where's the wine expert? Where's that person who's actually telling these members that, you know what, a Pinot Noir is quite good, but have you tried Zinfandel? Where's that person?
Where's
so
that
I figured,
person? Okay.
let me just look for some schools that I can actually go in, or rather come in and train. And voila, that's how we met.
That's how we met.
Indeed.
Awesome. So let's go before that.
Okay.
Take us through some of your journey pre-WSET, maybe pre-Muthaiga.
Pre-Muthaiga, wow, that takes me back all the way to 2015. Well, the hotel industry wasn't something that I actually grew up thinking that I would probably do. I actually got into the hotel industry by chance. Originally, I wanted to become a priest. So I had to now figure out from actually being called by, or rather having a calling, and then trying to figure out, that's always been my dream when I was like growing up, because I grew up in a very religious family, and I was very in it until I wasn't, and I had to look for an alternative.
Okay.
So the best alternative that probably had that whole vibe of like giving service to God's people was probably just getting into the hotel industry and getting to actually come in contact with these people as much. And I feel like I've done my bit, but not everything as much.
Everything. You in priestly robes. Father Vincent Mutuku has a good ring to it.
I'll be sending you blessings right about now.
We receive them. Okay.
Yeah.
So were you actually saying, maybe, where did that come from? You were in a Catholic school?
Yeah, I attended a seminary from my high school,
Wow.
and I also went to a major seminary for just 2 weeks.
Okay.
My mom was like devastated. My mom could not even like handle it. It took her months to like
recover,
come into terms like, oh my God, there goes my priest.
Oh, for you leaving?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Because you had to write a letter to the
Okay.
administration of the major seminary, requesting to actually just leave the calling and just get into other things.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they have to approve it.
Well, they aren't quite given an option, because it's actually a personal decision.
It's a personal decision,
Yeah,
true.
it is a personal decision, yeah.
Well, I learn things about you every day. That's quite interesting.
I never told you about that, right?
No, this is the first time I'm hearing it, and it's on camera now.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, it happened.
It happened,
it is what it is.
Okay, no, great. We're all the better for it, but then I think the blessings continue.
Amen.
Amen. Now coming into, after that now.
I went to Kenyatta College, where I did my food production, so I figured, let me just learn a bit about the kitchen. after food production, I had really high grades, so the administration was like, just go and do a degree.
Okay.
So I just decided not to start working immediately. I just go ahead and just do my degree, where I went to the University of Nairobi and did my hospitality management, which I actually passed very well.
Okay. So like a bright one, Index 1.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah, so after the University of Nairobi, I got actually, what are they called?
Internship. Okay, or
to Sarova White Sands in
nice.
Mombasa, where I spent a whole year.
Nice.
Sarova gave me, after 6 months, they gave me like another 6 months contract as much. Just to continue, because they felt like my skills were just ideal. I was just a barman, a waiter at Coco's. Everyone who's been to White Sands, they love the vibe at Coco's, because I mean, it's a bar by the beach.
Yes.
And the vibe is just to die for.
I mean, feet in the sand. Salt
sipping your Prosecco, champagne. I mean, it was something. So once I left White Sands, that's when I came to Nairobi and figured, let me try look for places to work in Nairobi. That's where I got a job here, but I got a job as a glass hand.
A glass hand,
yeah. So I was basically in charge of making sure all the glasses are actually washed, taken to their respective places, or whether if it's events, and the events bit was just crazy.
Wow.
Because they'd use glasses worth of, I don't know, even 700 packs.
Okay.
And that's a lot of glasses.
That's a lot of
You're
glasses.
talking about water, white wine, Prosecco, beer glass, red wine. I mean, I held my own.
You have, okay, but
I held the fort at that time.
that position is actually like a real position.
It is.
Glass hand.
I mean, I'm guessing most hotels have glass hands, because without the glass hand, operations in the bar, operations in the restaurant cannot work.
Okay.
Because you won't have a waiter probably wake up and just go wash their glasses.
Of course not.
So who's watching the
Who's
station?
watching this? Okay.
Who's watching the guest? Who's with the guest? So a glass hand is one of those positions that are basically essential.
Okay.
It's necessary for a hotel, for a company, a restaurant to have a glass hand, because they are the ones who are holding everything together.
Wow.
And I felt like in my time, I did my best.
Okay, it's interesting that you said that. I mean, and I hope because you're still here, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and the glasses all know you wherever they are.
Oh my goodness. I have a feeling they all wink at me at the same time.
So do you use machines or do you use,
absolutely.
tell me the best way to wash a glass. I mean, if I don't have a machine at home, that
dishwashers or other glass washers are what's actually ideal, because in there, you don't actually need to put soap. All you need to do is just connect the pipe for the soap to like a detergent somewhere, and then connect it to like hot water, because you need hot water really
like steamy,
goes along, steamy hot water. And then if you put them there, pull the machine down, give it like, because it has a timer.
Okay.
So you trust the machine and the time that actually is dedicated for actually washing all these glasses.
Okay.
So the glasses that you'll actually get from that whole process, sparkling clean, like no, and then you can't actually use your fingers. There should be no fingerprints.
Exactly.
In that whole, in the whole experience, or rather at the end of the whole process, there should be no fingerprints whatsoever.
Wow.
So whatever the guest actually gets at the table should be something they'll think, oh my God, they just opened this for me. But to be honest, behind the scenes,
behind the scenes, there was Father Vincent.
There was Father Vincent. Oh my, you'll never forget that, right?
No, I mean, what a transition. Like, seminary school, White Sands, where I guess you're saying like you had this, I'm assuming this persona that created around the Coco Jambos.
Absolutely.
You were the king of the castle at Coco's.
You have no idea.
And then now, back to school, top student, then all the way to glass hand. Okay.
Yeah.
Then what happened from there?
From a glass hand, my manager at that time saw potential. I'm a very vocal, super confident person. So he felt like, oh my, we're wasting this talent. So let me throw you to the operation.
Yes.
Armed to the teeth, like with everything. A glass washcloth, everything, a corkscrew, pen, paper, and I did my best.
Okay.
I could go around restaurants, like, because we've got a couple of restaurants, so you could just, the whole contact, I mean, that was the whole idea for me to get into
Yes.
the hotel industry, is to just get to understand the people,
Yes.
I say, the consumers as much, yeah.
Yeah.
So I became a waiter, even more I became a barista, even more I became a barman. They saw potential still. I went to school for the Bar School of Nairobi, where I did my course, and I became a barman. And I figured, let's try out some wines.
Let's try out some wine
That's
thing, and
where
you came and excelled
Yeah.
as well. Wow, I love it. I mean, I'm looking at you, and don't get me wrong about.
Please.
I'm not being an ageist, but you don't look a day over 18, and I'm hearing about all these things you've done. So it's quite interesting that
It is, and I feel like in the hotel industry, you just need to like find that niche
Yes.
that truly works for you,
Yes,
so you can work for it
Exactly,
as much.
yes.
Because in the long run, you want to look back and be like, you know what, this has been worth my while.
Exactly.
Other than waking up one day and feeling like, oh, time wasted.
Yes.
That is not something
that
I
is
want
not
to
something
like.
you want to have at
no,
all. Okay, and I'm sure you're continuing with your WSET
You
out of the
have no
country, and
idea.
you'll soon
out of
be
the
teaching.
country, I want to do my master's pretty soon. I want to do my PhD, because I come from a family that studies are everything. there.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
No, and we'll be here for it, celebrating you. So
thank you so
we'll
much.
call this season 1. I mean, episode 1 in your season.
And then the next one is previously on.
completely.
Yeah.
Right. So, Muthaiga Country Club. I know I have been corrected many times, not to confuse it for the other
The golf
location
cl- no,
across the
these are two
fence.
different,
Yes.
totally different companies.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now tell us about, I guess, now your role now, plus what kind of experiences you create for people here.
I, as the resident sommelier for Muthaiga Country Club, I'm in charge of anything wine related. I'm talking from wine service, from engineering the wine menu, from getting, rather doing wine events for the members of the club and their guests. I'm also in charge of training every single staff, and I'm talking service staff in all the restaurants, all the barmen, on just every single trend that's coming in and all the wines that we actually do have. I'm also in charge of a different section that is not wine related.
It's okay, we can talk about them all.
Well, as a barman, or rather, I mean, when I did my WSET, I always thought, I mean, the focus was on wines, but we forget there's that spirit education
Yes.
trust.
Yes.
So spirits are somewhere in there.
Yes.
So as a barman, I took it upon myself to just acquaint myself with all these spirits, because this club has like, whew, I mean, from here all the way to Timbuktu and back.
And back. Yes.
Yeah, so I felt like I looked at the figures, the reports, and so we are selling more gin than just about any other spirit.
Okay.
So gin is something that is highly appreciated here, the same way
Wine is appreciated as well.
overly appreciated here. I mean, the culture of wine in this club, I'm just glad I'm one of the people on the front line
Wow.
spearheading this
Spearheading it.
as much, yeah.
Well, and you will be celebrated. I hope they celebrate you enough.
They really do.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
there's wines, and then there's gin.
there's wines.
So you have a
gin.
specific gin offering?
Absolutely. We actually launched the first ever gin bar in Muthaiga Country Club in the 100 years this club has been operating.
Yes.
And since it's a British
Heritage.
club, and British people, or rather British people actually do love gin.
They do.
The gin and tonic will go a long way. I mean, it's the perfect aperitif. Before you just want to go sit down and have your dinner, that single gin and tonic
Yes.
reminds you of home. Is what I had one member actually tell me.
Okay,
as
wow.
much. Yeah. Yeah.
You're really going to sound British today by
Oh,
by
my
reminding
Lord.
us of home. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and then there's, of course, all the other spirits.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely amazing, like you say that. Yeah, we when I think of wine destinations, definitely a lot of the clubs are, but this specific organization, because there's always like a wine event happening at any point in time.
Absolutely.
How big is your wine portfolio here? Do you
We've
know?
got, we've got over 85 wines
Over
at the
85
moment,
wines,
and
okay.
still growing, because I remember there's a time when I first took up the docket, we were like around 50. So
Okay.
I'm glad that I've at least managed to get us somewhere.
Okay.
Because this club has a diverse consumer portfolio.
Yes, yes.
There's not this one who like this and this one. You just have to like cater for all of them.
For all of them,
So you
yes.
have to look into expressions, if not varieties, that actually speak to them at a personal level. And I mean, if they appreciate it, that means you're doing your job.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, yeah.
Exactly. So 85, and of course, this list keeps changing.
It keeps changing on a regular basis.
regular
We've got
basis.
also, other than the 85, we have other wines on consignment,
Okay.
just for the members exclusively.
Okay.
That's with some suppliers that we actually just keep some of their wines here. Whenever the members want them, they can actually have them without actually having to go all the way to the supplier or rather getting in contact with them.
Okay,
Yeah.
so please explain. So it's not part of your listing.
It's not part of our listing,
like a
but
special
it's a
list.
special list, yeah.
Yes.
It's
what
with,
what does it have?
It's with Domain Kenya.
Okay, okay, okay. I'm beginning to get a sense that these are not your everyday wines.
They're not your everyday wines as much, but then again,
Yes.
they're brilliant expression, like outstanding expressions
okay.
from just about all over the world.
Okay.
And it's a project we started with the Domain, where we actually changed that list after every 3 months.
Okay.
So after every 3 months, we look at the projections, we look at the sales report, and then we all sit down and be like, yeah, you know what, this worked.
Okay.
So let's look at other regions that we feel like might work.
Okay.
Because I feel like the market is verily flooded with just about all other regions, but then there's some regions,
There's some special places.
there's some special places that need their own special setup.
Can we ask maybe for you to mention one or two brands that are on that special list?
Well, to be honest,
But then we understand protocol and secrets.
no,
so
no,
if you
no,
can't,
it's okay.
yeah.
I can definitely, I can mention one. Have you ever heard of a grape called Silvana?
No, I haven't
Or
actually.
C? It's one of those ancient grapes that it's surprising how it survived
Okay.
all through, because it's a Greek grape
Okay.
that was grown by Greeks at that time. And you know the whole
The
history of wine.
Yes, yes, yes.
They're the ones who actually spearheaded that whole making sure guys know how to drink wine, know their grapes as much. So Silvana is one of those grapes that are still being produced. So in some places like Germany.
Okay.
Yeah.
Greece
Austria,
itself.
Greece
I'm
itself,
sure.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay.
So we've got this brilliant wine. It's a 2015 vintage by Ugel Efi.
There you go. Bringing out your multilingual self. Bringing out your multilingual self.
Yeah, so it's from Alsace.
Okay, nice.
And if you know, Alsace is just next to German, so I wouldn't be
So the border,
surprised that
yes.
they actually even do grow
Yes.
Silvana.
Okay,
So when I
okay.
came across this grape, and I was like, wow. I mean,
Wow.
I thought I've tried so many white wines, but damn, this is just
That
something.
is different. So something for me to look forward to.
Yeah.
Maybe a lunch today. Anyway.
Wow.
Yeah. So, wow. So there's a specialist.
Yeah.
So tell us more about the other restaurant offerings. You've talked about your newly launched gin bar, which is the biggest because it has how many gins on offer?
It's called Bijin.
Bijin.
So
Okay.
it's
I
Bijin
love
bar.
that. Yeah.
I know, right? It's a bit of like wordplay that gets you thinking, you know what?
Just like
I am-
WINENJIRU.
Yes. So, as the only, not the only, but one of the first few gin bars to be
Yes.
launched in Nairobi,
Yes.
we are proud to say that we actually do stock over 40 gins.
40 gins. And I've
40
seen the
gins.
menu, so it's true.
And some gins we actually import exclusively for the members.
members,
Yeah,
wow.
like you really just can't get that particular gin anywhere else.
In
So
Nairobi,
in
other than
Nairobi,
here.
Or even in Africa. I don't know about Africa.
Wow.
But
I love that.
Yeah.
That is great. That is great. Okay. Uh-huh.
so yeah, I
And
mean,
so you have the Bijin,
we've got the Beijing bar, we've got Pink's, which is informal restaurant as
informal
much.
dining. Yeah.
We've got the club dining restaurant, which is just a very formal fine dining restaurant.
Okay.
We just call it the club dining restaurant as much.
Okay.
We've also got like events bar
Yes.
and yeah.
Events bar and the cocktail
and,
bar.
and the cocktail bar as
Yes,
well, and also
yes.
the mini bar in the guest rooms as much.
The guest rooms. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big portfolio for you to
It
manage because
is.
you're responsible, like you said. I like the word you used, engineering. The food and drinks menu.
Indeed.
The drinks menu in those places
Yeah,
as well. I love it. I love
And
it.
we have to diversify because consumers are changing on the regular.
Yes.
You know, And their taste and preference changes with time, with trends, and you just have to like adapt.
Yes.
And just be on the lookout.
Yes.
For what's actually being appreciated more. What's this member actually saying that he or she tried this somewhere?
Yes.
And they feel like it's because this is their club.
Their club, exactly. And I guess that's the difference between you and say everybody else. A club has members who are like here all the time, so you have to keep them interested and invested in whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying other sort of independent places don't have the same, but I guess there's more pressure for you to keep things nice and fresh and
You have
like
to. You owe it.
always
you owe it to yourself.
changing. Yes.
You owe it to yourself because you have a job to do and you have to deliver.
Yes.
In the long run.
Okay.
And it has to be a win-win situation
For everybody.
For everybody, for the members themselves,
Yes.
for myself,
Yes.
as a personnel of this particular esteemed club. Yeah, we owe it to ourselves to deliver results
that. Okay.
as much. Yeah.
So do you make the decisions by yourself about who gets listed or what gets to be on the list, or what's the process like?
Well, there's actually a committee for that. We call ourselves the House Wine and Messing Committee.
The House Wine and
And
Messing
Messing
Committee.
Committee.
Okay.
That actually is the one that decides exactly what's being listed in the club and what's being delisted in the club as
Okay,
much.
okay,
Because
yes.
while you add some few things, you know how the restaurants are.
Yes.
You keep the stars, you keep the plows, but the dog out of the door. Yeah,
I like that. The stars and the plows, right?
Yeah, because if something is not working or rather hasn't been moving, as a business or rather as a business person, you need to figure out ways of pushing them.
Yes.
Yeah, and if they're not feeling or rather being in that pushy mood or so.
Yes, if it's not working, it's not
If it's
working.
not working, it's not
yeah.
working. Sometimes it's not really good to force
It's
it.
not you, it's me.
Something like that.
Let's get this out of the way. Okay, and you do that on an annual basis or you do that half yearly?
We do that on a quarterly
Oh,
basis.
quarterly basis.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That must, okay. So you bring in recommendations and of course, then the people are also well-versed in...
We're ever listening to the members.
Yes.
Like I said, this is their club. Everything should work for them. So we just listen and we act
Okay.
accordingly
As much.
Yeah.
So are they the ones who proposed the gin bar, or was that your idea?
Definitely, that was, it wasn't my idea.
Okay.
But I loved the idea from
Okay,
the
from the
get-go.
beginning, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
because we felt like gin here is something that is truly appreciated. Like I said, just like
Yes.
wine,
Yes.
our members love their gin and tonics
Okay.
or their Tom Collins and whatnot.
Or whatnot. Okay, cool. So if I am an importer, I'm new in the business, I'm operating in this market, and I want to be listed here, or I want to collaborate in one way or another with a club. What's the process like, or what do I need to know?
All you need to do is just probably drop an email, and in the email probably attach the company's catalog per se.
Yes, okay.
So we can actually get to know what your offerings in the market are looking like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you're
And
open to all kinds of wines and
All
spirits
kinds
and
of
the like.
wines
So
as
you had
much, yeah.
devised that way, and there's room for that.
For
That's
sure.
really great to hear. What country is hot? If I ask you what wine region or country is hot and happening right now, what would you say?
To be honest,
We don't expect any less from the father.
I'm
Vincent.
I'm trying to be, I'm very honest. Lying to me is a no-no.
Okay,
So
okay.
I'm trying to look, because now I have to juggle. America? No. France, probably.
France is hot.
French
Okay.
and Italian wines at
Really?
the moment. Because I'm trying to look, because I have to now look back at the sales of last year and what was actually moving
Okay.
as much. Also New Zealand.
Okay.
Let me just give you 3 of them that are actually
It's
are
fine.
the top 3.
Those are all places I want to visit, so I'm happy
Indeed.
with that.
Yeah,
So France
French wines, Italian wines, and New Zealand
and
wines.
New Zealand wines. You mentioned Americans and said something. What did you?
Uh,
what did that mean?
I mean, its reception
Okay.
is where I'm actually basing my judgment on.
Okay.
Because some people don't quite like American wines, the same way some people think South African wines have a lot of sulfites.
Yes. Okay.
It's a perspective,
Yes.
or rather it's a thought, but at the same time, it's not like they're not good. Their wines are really good, like Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignons,
Yes.
the Pinot Noirs from the Chardonnays, which are very
Yes.
different from just about any other Chardonnay
True.
from all other regions as much. And it came to me or rather, it came to my realization that they're actually even growing Rieslings.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
But then- but then-
American wines are really good, but it's how to get them in the country.
And to sell them,
And
the
to
idea.
sell them, yeah.
I actually remember one of the events I've attended here at Muthaiga, there was actually like a Paris Judgment kind of event.
Yes.
So we had, you
Jimmy
said his name,
Smith.
yeah, Jimmy Smith,
Yes.
who's British.
He's British,
But in
yeah.
essence, he was representing Team France.
Yes, for
Then
sure.
there was myself and someone from the Wines of South Africa team who was Team South Africa. And I liked how it was done because at the beginning, there was like just give your perceptions. Which side are you on?
It was actually a blind tasting.
Yes.
It was a blind
It was
tasting, I remember, yeah.
So it was like, at the beginning, of course, we had to give our impressions, and of course, it was heavily French.
It was.
Then there was the tasting of the 3 sort of comparable wines, and at the end, somehow we had swayed some people over to Team South Africa side, but I know there was still, there was still that heritage. But, events like those that maybe help people open up and say, let me think about that.
Yeah.
The other thing that's really strange, maybe coming back to sort of Team America now, is a lot of the sort of movies we've watched and sort of, I guess, all these sort of old world versus new world battles have been very heavily American versus the other people.
Yeah.
And yet there seems to be some lag in terms of perhaps how they can market themselves better, to our audiences. It's crazy that everybody sends me the link to the Uncooked movie. They're like, oh, you're in wine. Have you watched the movie? And I was telling you look like the main actor. Have you watched this? And I'm like, we have all this American influence in that sense, if you think about all the cooking competitions and stuff. But yet, on the wine side, we still seem to linger as opposed to there. But then I guess it's an opportunity for them.
Indeed it is. And I feel like they have a lot of wines or other wine expressions that I don't think quite that they've looked at our market and figured probably, there's a gap here.
There's a gap
that they
here
need to
or
like
here.
fill it.
Yes.
So it's their job to actually do that. And I feel like they can do more because they have a lot more offerings in the wine
industry. I mean, every state produces wine.
Absolutely.
I guess my job as an educator, your job as a som, we have our work cut out for us in the next few months to make that happen.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so as a sommelier in the space, and I mean, I can definitely call you that without feeling that.
Please do.
I mean,
until you start calling me Master Sommelier.
I'm looking forward to that as well, right? I'm looking forward to that as well.
Okay.
So what do you think about that profession in this market?
I mean, it's a brilliant one. And thank God for whoever actually thought of this. Because let me tell you, consumers these days, I mean, yes, you want value for money, but you want that added value as well. And I feel like sommeliers bring in that added value. Yeah, you'll ask for a glass of red wine, but this person, this gentleman, this lady will come in and give you a brief history of the vineyard that wine is coming from, the region it's coming from, the flavor components or other characteristics they expect from that particular wine, and even go further to recommend that that wine, if you didn't know, would really just pair beautifully well, harmoniously well with that grilled lamb steak or the herb lamb steak or grilled sirloin steak. It goes a long way. It goes a long way. And I feel like we as sommeliers bring so much value, so much added value that I feel like these consumers are literally looking for.
Exactly.
Because if you can actually understand your consumer, then you are going to have like one smooth operation, I feel.
Okay. I love it. And I wish I could just take that clip there and just put that as the call to action for everybody to join a sommelier association or to even think about this.
For sure.
And I mean, you've really captured it really well. I'm so proud.
Thank you so much.
Just sitting here being like a teacher, like, wow, that's my student. But then, because that's the thing really, I mean, of course, I do a lot of tasting events, but when people ask if I'm a sommelier per se, I normally shy away from that.
Why?
Because I don't work on the shop floor sort of and interact with clients. But then the private tastings are that. But then again, what value do I bring when I'm running a tasting is I tell the stories, right? Which is what you're bringing. That value.
Yeah, that value added goes.
And you're taking someone to some place and giving them your opinion.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could be pitching anything, but then this is the medium we've chosen to use. And I hope that other institutions, like other hotels, can actually take that position seriously and actually appoint people and give them the responsibility and authority to be able to drive wine sales in that place?
I
I mean,
feel
I
it's
can see
important.
how, even when you're saying we had a wine list of 50 and now 85, I can actually see how you've grown it.
I
And I
have,
can
and
see you have a vision of
that's
bringing,
not even the limit. In fact,
yeah,
as being in charge of for wine events, I play around the wine calendar.
okay.
I play around the wine calendar from January all the way to December. That I know that when we are celebrating Cabernet Sauvignon, I can do something Cabernet Sauvignon related
Uh-huh.
in all those
Oh,
restaurants.
like the
Like
day.
if you get in at Pink's, probably you'd get like a glass of Cab
Yes.
on the
On the
house.
house, on the,
Or I'll even have like suppliers bring in their Cabernet Sauvignon offerings in the wine market, yeah? And members can come and even buy them with the
okay.
retail
With the
price, not our own
oh,
margin price, which is kind of good because that's when these
wow.
members or rather this consumer will understand that, you know, if you buy wine in a restaurant, there's that beverage margin that's always
course.
there. And then you go to, that's why you'll find a customer telling you like, I went somewhere and I found this wine being sold at 1,000. Then you guys are selling me, you're selling it to me at like what, 3,600? There's always that margin.
Yes, yes,
So,
yes.
but if you can actually do something to do away with the margin and have the members, the guests, the customer, the consumer actually get this product at just about the right price, there's nothing wrong about
On that special day,
yeah,
right?
on that special day. I mean, we're celebrating this brilliant grape. So how about you just get it at this particular price that is truly a good deal?
A good deal, and then I'm sure they buy by the caseload then.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's
like
not
we
just
recently
a bottle.
we
It's
recently did Malbec,
Malbec Day,
last
yes,
month.
yes.
And then just some few weeks ago, it was Chardonnay Day.
Yes.
We did the same concept. We just
and,
had like
and Chenin Day is coming on the
it's
17th.
coming. Yeah, it is. It is. I look
Yes.
forward to it. The last one, we had Woza on.
We had a virtual
We had a
celebration,
virtual
yes,
celebration,
but-
which I felt brought all these people together in the name of Chenin.
Exactly.
Which was really good.
So they'll be able to get those deals for the day, and that's value you add to them as well by
mean-
actually knowing that. I mean, I've never thought of that. Mark the wine calendar.
Yeah.
I normally know Chenin Day and Pinotage Day.
I have every single year, as the
Yeah.
year start, I'll
Yes.
just download the wine calendar.
Awesome.
Plan out my entire events for the whole year.
Yes.
So I know what to do for this, what to do for this, what to do for this,
Wow.
and how to make everything so different, not the same.
Sure.
I can have. We recently had a KWV winemaker, the master winemaker
For the mentors range.
for the
yeah,
Mentors
Isel.
and Isel Van Black, which was brilliant. It was just outstanding. I mean,
Yes.
everyone who came in for that had a story to tell.
Wow, and she's quite a storyteller. I've
quite the-
attended one of those.
I want her knowledge. I want her confidence. Because even I had to learn so many
So
things on that
much.
day.
Wow.
Yeah, and my team also did because we did like a training with her first
before
the wine pairing dinner. Yeah,
What was your favorite from that collection? I'm just
definitely the
curious.
orchestra
Oh,
and the canvas
and the
Ron
canvas.
Ron expression per se.
Wow.
It was, but I felt like the Grenache Blanc was quite also good. I mean, I don't know if you've tried it.
I have tried them all.
What do you think?
I'm a big
What do you
fan
think?
of all of them. And I guess that's why I was so confident to ask you, right?
Okay, so I
because
felt like
because I always say, if anybody wants to give me quote unquote, oh, you're my mentor, you know what wine to buy from the mentors range. Yeah, I won't limit you to the mentors range though, but that's a good place to start.
It is. I mean, that's some of
Yeah.
their premium
Exactly.
ranges as much. And I felt like, because I had never come across Mentors or Canvas, and for that day, I felt it was just ideal.
It was just ideal. And I mean, coming back to that, as much as you're the sommelier and, you bring value by the knowledge you have, having someone like that, a winemaker coming to present to, the particular audience themselves, brings such rich stories. And it's like you're hearing it from the horse's mouth. You'll never forget that brand.
You'll never forget
You
that
ask
brand.
yourself, where was I when?
And you know, it's something because sometimes when you're sharing information, they might actually not take you seriously. But now
Exactly.
with the winemaker there, you have no option but to just believe everything she's saying or he's saying.
Yeah.
Which I felt, because when I had the training session with my team, I just like how everyone was paying attention. Because it made me feel like, oh my God, now you guys know I've not been lying to you.
Exactly. Yes. No, you're a credible source. You're a credible source. And then, of course, when they're serving clients now, can say, oh yeah, when I met Isel the other day, you know, like, oh, you know the winemaker, right? It just adds such rich.
It adds so much
It's the
value.
shortcut to actually going to the wine estate.
Indeed.
And visiting. And now that you've said you're actually doing your exam in Cape Town, I hope we can link you up with some of those,
Yeah, winemakers
wine
is mad,
estates and
yeah.
wine, I download the calendar of the wine estates you want to go to, and maybe we can
I have a
facilitate
list,
that
actually.
through your suppliers and
I
some
do
of your
have a
friends
list.
and
I
make that
I look
happen for
forward-
you.
I look forward to it.
Yeah.
I really do.
Okay.
I've been prepping for it, so yeah.
Exactly. And of course, all the other reading you have to do because level 3 is quite
It's
intense.
quite
I don't envy
intense.
you.
No, I'm pretty sure you don't.
But then when you do level 4, I can be your study partner because I have my books, but I haven't done the course yet.
Ah,
Yeah. But
I-
maybe
I
now
look
coming
forward
to
to
the,
it,
coming to wrap up, if you are not at Muthaiga, or what is the prospects like in the next 5 years for you? Other than the education, which of course you have talked about, the fact that you want to be a master one day.
Master Sommelier.
And you're doing all this
It has
other
a very good ring to it, doesn't it?
very MW, Vincent Mutuku MW.
See how people write like MBA,
Yes.
MW, doctor,
Yes.
professor. Oh Lord.
Since you did away with the first 2 letters of your name, FR,
FR.
now we'll just be MW at the end.
You will never forget that.
But then what else do you see for yourself or for the industry as a whole? What do you think will begin to become, will begin to become the new things?
I see that. I see what you did there. This industry, rather to be precise, the Kenyan wine industry has so much potential. I feel.
Yeah.
I feel like we haven't had all those regions represented in our wine industry, and I feel like there's so many gaps that most regions all out there
Yeah.
aren't quite actually taking advantage of, or rather making sure that it's working for their own benefit as much. I mean, judging with COVID and everything that transpired after
that,
we're still trying to recover, Who would have ever thought that the drinking environment will be like changed drastically? Like you wake up one day, you can't go to the bar. You wake up one day, you can only do takeaways. You wake up one day, no alcohol being served anywhere.
Yeah, that was tough.
That was tough. And there's some companies, and I'm talking about suppliers, importers, that means they had to keep all these products in a container somewhere, in a warehouse somewhere. So that's just money lying somewhere, It's not working for you. You're not making any sales. Months are going.
Yeah.
That whole, it went for quite a
The
while.
lockdown was quite a while,
It
right?
went on for quite a while. And I was reading a report by one company. It's called Euro Monitor International.
Wow, yes.
And they did this whole survey of the wine industry in Kenya. And they were trying to compare it to like 2015. And from the report, it read that in 2015, there was like a gross, or rather the market was valued at around like 46 million, and that's million USD in retail prices. And then they did a forecast of 5 years from now. So they were looking at probably in 2020 to 2025.
Yes.
And they had this projection that it's going to be like around, 103 million USD.
It's going to triple.
It's going to triple, yeah. But then again, not in the favor of suppliers.
Oh.
Because I was looking at some of their figures. I don't know if you've come across.
I need to get a copy of the report. I'm glad you've mentioned it.
I'll send it to you because they're saying that the compound annual growth rate, that the CAGR, which basically means is the rate of growth, or the rate that is expected to grow for an investment in between like the starting capital to the ending one for like a financial year.
Okay.
So it has to either look good or look bad. Otherwise, you're not really doing any business as much. So in 2015, that compound annual growth rate was looking at what? 10.3% growth. That's per annum.
Per annum, yeah.
And now they're saying in 2025, it's going to go down to something around 7%.
Okay.
So it goes to show how things have just been reconstructed so much so it's harder to even get things in. No wonder suppliers don't really want to go to these regions that I'm talking about that probably would do well in this particular market because they're looking at all those formalities, all those brick walls, all those challenges and thinking, wow, is this a venture I really want to like go into?
True.
And I've had suppliers complain how it's so hard to get some of their products in at the moment. Like people are having their products probably sealed somewhere, or rather kept somewhere until some tax. Even so, the tax is going up.
There's actually a
With
proposal
30%.
to increase the taxes.
I mean, these are all brick walls, but I just feel like as an industry, we need to just prevail. I mean, these are just waves that will probably die down, I hope, in the next few years. But I just feel like an association will be like the best way to like address some of these
of the issues. I guess there's many levels. Of course, customer demand is growing.
It's growing, and
that's
changing
great
on the regular.
because people are asking for things and they're changing. And then there's the regulatory environment where you have to operate. I mean, if shipping has a problem. If there's a shortage of dollars,
there is a shortage.
It's a shortage of dollars.
But of
course, there's ways. I think the suppliers and importers have even lobbied the government before for some laws to be changed in their favor.
Yes.
And I mean, there's been some success stories in that. But then, of course, there's still regulatory environment that can be discouraging for people to operate on. I mean, I wanted to be an importer at the beginning, and I can tell you.
How was it for you?
That idea changed very quickly because
God.
I figured I'm already gray. I don't need to get grayer. But some of the stories I hear, and I'm like, but you guys are still in business and being profitable. Like that resilience is at a different level.
It is.
I think education for me is an easier sell.
I mean, and you're
easy,
winning on that front, verily.
Yeah, but thank you. I mean, I can see how you are the top student. Some of these insights are quite deep in terms of your analysis,
No,
and it's great for us to look at things at that level.
You need to, because that's the only way you'll get to understand when this person says, I can't actually deliver to you.
Yes.
It's because of this and this and this. So you need to understand what do they mean when they say it's this and this and this.
Yes.
You have to go down deeper to get to understand what's not happening.
What's not happening. And then make your decisions more appropriately.
Yeah, appropriate.
Like you meet on a quarterly basis. But also your knowledge of knowing what alternative you can provide to the consumer if that product that was great is not available, but I'm sure now with your knowledge you can do that.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Can we just talk about what we have on the table here? People have been salivating. I've been salivating about you talking about lamb and everything. I'm looking forward to that lunch. But then take us through what you have on the table and so maybe why you chose these ones in particular.
So these are just some of the offerings we do offer to our members.
These are your best friends.
They really are. And the glasses as well, because they're winking at me. So yeah. Like I said, we've got a gin bar.
Yes.
It opens every single day except for Mondays from 4:30 onwards to 9:30.
9:30.
It's like a pop-up thing.
Okay.
Like if you even go there, it's all nothing until you get 4.
For the people who
the
come.
clock hits 4, and it's all busy all of a sudden,
And you have enough space for all these pop-ups.
Space
is not a problem here.
Space is not a problem for this place.
Okay.
We can always figure out things on the ground.
On the ground.
See how people say things on the ground are different? They are different, but it's manageable. It's manageable, totally.
Yeah. So Bijin Bar.
Bijin Bar.
So you have what there closer to you?
One of my favorite gins from Italy.
Okay.
It's called Gin Mare. It's actually juniper. It's made with juniper, but it's actually infused with some bit of basil, olives.
Very Mediterranean.
It's very Mediterranean as much. And I feel like, and I've tried it before, and I've really gotten to like upsell it as a gin on its own, because it makes one of the best martinis. It really does.
It does.
With a touch of like, with some olives in there and a lemon twist. Woo.
It's great.
I can already imagine it.
Gin Mare for you.
It is. And over to your end.
Yes.
Our very own Procera, Kenyan made. The juniper Procera is actually a different species of juniper that only grows in Kenya.
Okay.
Imagine.
What area does it grow?
In Kijabe.
Lovely.
In Kijabe, and they make it for exports.
Okay.
So it's actually it's a wonderful, brilliant gin that is being made in Kenya, but guys in London are enjoying it way more.
I know. I mean, I'm glad that now it's available in the local markets. It is available here.
Yeah.
But yes, I think it used to go for what, £100?
It is.
At Harrods.
Yeah.
And
But
of
it's
course,
amazing.
the Kitengela glass bottle.
The Kitengela glass. The fact that these guys chose to do everything, like from every single raw material, from the branding here.
Here in
Like,
Kenya. Love it.
they're literally showcasing our capabilities out there as much. And
I love it.
It goes to show how much they actually appreciate.
Yeah.
Because I've been to Kitengela Glass, and you can never go wrong with
You can
any
never
of
go
their
wrong with
product.
that.
I mean, look at that beautiful
Look at that bottle in the
And it actually just won recently the only gin bottle, the world's best gin bottle.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
look it up.
Look it up.
Prosera gin bottle literally just scooped that award as much.
I have 3 empty bottles of this.
I have 2. Don't ask me what I use them for.
Peas in a pod, you and I. Okay. Look at that. Yeah, we are big green. We are big green.
For sure.
And the wines too, sorry?
On the wines from your end, one of our premium, if not the premium, you know, Amarone della Val Policella from Tomasi. It's a 2017 vintage. I mean, Amarone on its own, the reason as to why it's actually expensive is that it's because they use a lot more grapes
Okay.
than just about any other wine per se, because they have this style that they actually have to dry
Dry out the grapes.
the grapes. So the predominant grape there will be Corvina, and then it's blended in with some bit of like Corvinone and Oceleta, which make up this beautiful, full-bodied appreciation of like really dates, dried fig, prune, and a touch of red fruit characters in there. It's a brilliant, brilliant wine indeed. And that has to be one of my best sellers indeed.
Okay, okay. Bestsellers and a personal favorite, I
and
guess.
a personal favorite for sure. You can never go wrong with Amarone, especially if you're like really celebrating like something really huge, like a big deal.
That is it.
A big deal for a big deal. Thank you.
This man got puns, he got poetry.
And over next one will be from Lomaha. Lomaha is one of the biggest, if not in Stellenbosch, in Franschhoek actually.
So yeah, Franschhoek,
It's in
yes.
Franschhoek. And this one is from Antonij Rupert, Method Cup Classique. It's just champagne, only you just can't call it champagne.
Yes, made in the same style.
Made in the same style.
Yes.
But from South Africa, they just have to like use the term Method Cup Classique because the Method Traditionnelle or the Champenoise method is what's actually been used because the second fermentation has to happen in the bottle, yeah? And it takes a lot more time. When I was having that conversation with Isel van Black, the type of hours they put in to make Method Cup Classique,
yeah.
it's beyond imagining.
Wow.
It's really beyond imagining. And because this bottle, probably they started making it 2 years, if not.
Yeah, I mean, there's a minimum time.
Yeah,
that
there's a minimum
has
time.
To be, of course,
And
fermented in bottle.
Yeah.
Before it is released into the market. Yeah, but then it
a lot
presents really
more
good
work.
value.
It
Yes,
does, it does.
presents
But a
really
lot
good
more
value.
work because all of the fermentation happens inside
the bottle, yes.
As compared to those ones that actually do, happen like in steel tanks that can actually hold like what? Liters and liters on.
Hectoliters.
Yeah. I feel like a lot more work. And people need to actually appreciate
Yes.
the reason as to why champagne, Method Cup Classiques, covers are
Yes.
like that.
I like that.
Because they don't quite understand how much work that actually goes into this brilliant stuff, for sure. And over to the next one, it will be Warwick, Professor Black, Pitch Black. The name itself should just sell it, because that just tells you, ooh, full-bodied.
Yeah.
From the get-go.
From the get-go, yeah?
From the get-go, it just tells you full-bodied. It's a blend of a couple grapes, mostly Bordeaux varietals.
Okay.
It's a brilliant, it's actually an entry in from the recent quarterly meeting.
Okay, a new
And its
entrance onto your
reception,
list.
yeah,
Okay.
onto our list. And the reception has been brilliant.
Perfect. Is that exclusive here? Because I haven't seen it anywhere else, actually. Do you have exclusive?
Exclusivity?
On
no,
that one?
because actually
Okay.
the supplier,
Okay.
the supplier who's actually bringing this in is actually new.
Okay,
And
but then
it's a trend I've been seeing. There's so many
new entries into the
new
market.
entries into the market,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they are bringing goodies, like
Okay.
really good things as
Yeah.
much, yeah?
You know-
Things that we're probably not used to,
Yes.
but then again, it's good stuff,
And I guess
outstanding wines.
that's
yeah.
the great thing about wine, and I guess even a lot of other spirits, is that there's always something new coming up.
Yeah, there's always
But
something
my
new.
personal story with the Warwick is that's where I did my WSET level 2 course
Oh, really?
and exam.
Wow.
Right, at the estate. So it holds a special place in my heart that way. And I guess that is where the decision was made to I have spent so much money coming to do this 2-day
Yeah,
course.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I need to make sure that this is available for other people in Kenya without them incurring the cost as well, right? But
Nowadays-
of course, if you're in Cape Town, please do visit Warwick. But
you,
then
you just
that's a
added that to
special,
my list.
yes, that's a
You just
special
added that to my
connection
list because I feel like
with that place. That is where I did my exam. That is where I did the course. So at least you don't have to, because we have brought it here for you. But in case you're there, please do visit. And I mean, I like the way they name. There's like First Lady, Professor Black, the Blue Lady. There's always like colors involved
I
with
would
their
want to
different
like
wines.
really get to know the whole story behind it.
Yes.
But thank you. I'll make sure.
You'll make sure it's one of
I'll
the
make
places
sure
you
it's one
visit.
of the places I actually have to visit as much. Yeah.
But Vincent, this has been so great, and honestly, we have to come back for more.
Totally.
Yeah, we'll have to
especially
give you
when
a
I'm like a
whole
master,
season.
a master sommelier.
Even
then we have to
before
do that.
then, even before then, I know you have the Gin Day celebrations coming up.
Yeah, which is June 11th.
Yeah, and all these other things that you'll be doing.
Yeah.
But I'm just so grateful that we're able to have this conversation because you're
much.
always such a delight. And just, I'm seeing the metamorphosis that has happened since we first met. And it can only get better.
When we first met, I was super naive, right? Like I was this innocent looking person, but now the industry has shaped me
Has
into
shaped
this.
you and will continue to.
And I owe a lot to this club. I owe a
love
lot to
it.
this club because some of these opportunities don't really come easily.
Yes, they don't.
You know, and it goes a long way when the company you're with actually holds you back, like supports you all the way. That really goes a long way, and it's something I really do treasure. And truly, my heart is in this place.
I love it.
Yeah.
And you've only been here for 6 years now.
I've only been here for 6 years now.
I will always be laughing every time I see a glass because I'll be seeing your hand in it.
Oh my God, my hand in it, yeah, right? Yeah, because literally all these glasses do know me by name.
But well done, well done, well done, and all the best to you.
Thank you so much.
There you have it. If you're ever at MCC, please make sure to give Vincent a hello.
Yeah, indeed.
And enjoy the offerings that are in place.
Thank you so
See
much.
you next time.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.